Thank you for joining me on our weekend edition of Daily Dish. In today's episode, I will be bringing you the week's top stories in the world of technology, sports, politics, and entertainment. Which candidate emerged as the clear frontrunner in the 2020 Democratic election? Stick around to find out that answer on today's episode of Daily Dish.
There's no way in the world, if anything's meaningful and truthful, that you're not going to offend someone. You've got to be able to say what it is, say how it is, and take the consequence.
Over the last 5 years, many tech companies have hired a head of diversity and have spent about $1.2 billion on diversity initiatives. But according to annual reports, leading tech companies have outlined marginal change in their race and gender diversity numbers and have claimed that they need to do more. Alabama's Crimson Tide has launched a loyalty program in a bid to keep students in their seats till the end of a football game. The interesting part is that it involves tracking students on their smartphones. Alabama coach Nick Saban has long complained that students leave Bryant-Denny Stadium before the game has actually finished. The answer? Track students on their mobile phones to make sure that they're still at the stadium. The New York Times calls this an extraordinary Orwellian measure, and the only reason that they're doing this is to track students' attendance at a football game. Seems a bit much if you ask me. Preseason is over, and not just for the National Football League. In Thursday night's Democratic presidential debate, Joe Biden finally stood between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, and real disagreement broke out on healthcare, taxes, and even on Biden's mental competence. The one-night, 3-hour event offered the frontrunners their first chance to face each other on the same stage and gave the rest of the field the opportunity to try to break out. The bottom line, there is no one frontrunner, and during the next phase, we can expect the numbers to decrease significantly, with many experts speculating that no more than 5 candidates will be present. When ABC renewed Blackish for the 6th season, the network also ordered a series called Mixish, which is the prequel spin-off that will look at the life of Tracee Ellis Ross's character, Rainbow, and her experiences growing up in a mixed-race family in the 1980s. The trailer dropped back in May, but the series is expected to premiere in the coming weeks. Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, and Lana Del Rey released a song called Don't Call Me Angel along with a music video on Thursday night. When they're not wearing wings, they're throwing knives and boxing in the ring. Lyrics included Cyrus singing, "I make my money and I write the check, so say my name with a little respect," and Del Rey's "We in it together, but don't call me Angel." The pop stars teamed up for the new song for Elizabeth Banks's Charlie's Angels film reboot, and the track can be heard in the trailer for the movie that was released in June. The track, co-written by all 3 artists, is the lead single from the film's soundtrack, which will be available November the 1st. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Daily Dish. I certainly hope you got your fill of what's happening in the world, and I will have another weekend review edition for you next weekend. And thanks for subscribing. Please feel free to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or whatever other social media you can think about. The name is Saintel Daily, and please subscribe at youtube.com/Saintel Daily. That's SAINTELDAILY. Saintel Daily. See you next time.